winning broadcasting, and this is the stadium. My name is Ted. It has never changed. If you want to change it, you have to bribe me. There's a lot of money to be paid. But of course, I'm not alone as usual. It's a sporty evening. Legends, living legends, winning games against very, very, very young persons. Sometimes age is just numbers. It's not about what is in your heart. I'm here again tonight with the one and only He's here. You can feel him. Amazing Sunday evening, Bucci.
Fantastic. History. We just witnessed history today. 20 Grand Slams. Roger Federer. Kudos to him. I mean, what an emotional speech. The man is just on top of the world.
He couldn't withhold the tears. They just had to flow. He cries when he loses and he cries when he wins. It's a cry, baby. And I was more interested in watching his wife in the stands, also holding her nose and holding her cheeks and trying to hold the tears. Oh my God, my husband at 36, winning the 20th Grand Slam, the oldest man to do this, the best in shape among all the male. Which you were talking about that, Roger Federer. Yes. That is massive record. And of course, in Morocco, Nigeria up against Angola. What are your predictions? Yesterday, we asked you to make calls in to tell us what you think will be the outcome of today's game. Of course, at the end of this evening, you'll be able to tell us if your predictions in your heart or what you said, what you voiced out, came to pass or not. Are we good enough to go for the finals? D1 thinks so. What do you think? We're there. Of course, Chelsea, Manchester City, on a winning streak out there. And then somebody out there is asking that he wants Anthony Joshua now, like bring her come up for fire, put her now, make her begin chop her now. Can he withstand that? All of that in one package here on the stadium. But Bucci, first of all, we'll start with Roger Federer.
Of course.
Amazing game today.
Fantastic.
Marinchili played as if he has never played a finals before, and this was a very, very, very massive fight from both athletes. Amazing. Australia was at a standstill, so were we where we watched the game. Massive.
It was.
Ended up winning his 20th Grand Slam. Best in shape among all the male players. He actually picked the first set 6-2, and then the second one went in a tie break. Marinchili got his 7-6. He came back to win 6-3. Chile came back again to win 6-3. And then Federer decided that, you know what? This final set, man, I've had enough.
Time to end this.
6-1 straight off.
It was a 5-set thriller, and I think
it was worthy of a final.
It was a final worth watching. It really was. I think for me, the biggest game I was looking forward to, unfortunately, was Chung and Federer. And yes, but Chung fell, due to injury, maybe along the line.
But this compensated for what?
No, this was a cracker. This totally compensated for it. I mean, Chile played, like you said, he played the game of his career. It was no walkover for Federer. I think that was the best part of it all. It wasn't a walkover. It's the kind of final you want to watch. It's the kind of Grand Slam finale you want to see. A thriller like that where it just went back and forth. Federer first set, Tillich second set.
With
Federer,
long rallies. Everybody tried not to make sure he loses his serve.
Exactly. All both competitors at the top of their game. And Federer right now could probably even just die happy. No tennis player in history, no male tennis player, let me put it that way. No male tennis player in history has accomplished what he has accomplished right now. 20 Grand Slams, 36 years of age. Still, like you also said, in the best shape of his career right now.
It's looking as if he's ready, a lot more ready.
He's playing like he's 20. He's playing better than people that are half his age.
Yes.
I mean, it's fantastic to even see a man who started his professional career at, I think, 1998, and up till now is still competing competitively with the top in the world. Many youngsters have come in and left the game, and, right now he just seems unstoppable.
It's amazing how Roger Federer is doing it, whatever has been driving him to do it. Of course, he married one of his friends who became his manager, a former tennis player herself. They have a very beautiful family, those beautiful twins. And I run a family that has been, he has kept himself clean, away from scandals, away from anything doping, away from anything negative in the media. Has been involved in a lot of charities, helping people out there. So it's massive. Of course, he has a lot of some of stats here that we could give you. He extended his men's record from Grand Slam single titles. He's 4 ahead of Rafa Nadal and only 4 behind Margaret Court's overall record. So he's he has a chance to actually meet up all those records because the year is just starting.
Funny enough, when we go through the stats and everything, only 4 players have had 20 or more Grand Slams. We're looking at, and 3 of them being female. I think that's another key to mention.
I think and among those playing, only Serena is still active
right
now.
Has
higher than him.
Margaret Court, Serena Williams, and Steffi Grant, all with 20 Grand Slams and above.
Yes.
Federer being the first man, first
to reach
male
that 20
to reach that 20 mark.
Yes.
And right now, with the way he's playing, and this is the beginning of the ATP season, the sky's the limit.
And he only has 155 points now behind Nadal.
Yes. Slash that lead.
He slashed the gap. Nadal tried to play to make sure that at the end of the season, at the end of last season, 2017, he ended up as number 1. After securing that number 1, he went back out of injury, according to what he said, to go and rest and get himself set for Melbourne.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he came to Melbourne and he couldn't perform. The same injuries that he had set him back again. He went back to rest. Whether Nadal will fight back to claim that top spot, I think this year is Roger's number 1 spot. No, he will definitely.
He's going to. I mean, if he decides to retire,
there's no slight sign of injury.
Nope.
All through his play, he plays with ease. Even today he struggled against Chilik. Yes, he lost two games, but when he came back in the final set and decided to make it top, he was amazing.
He was unstoppable. He practically it was like he walked over Kilik. But don't get me wrong, kudos to Kilik. Kilik did play a fantastic game. He gave Roger a full run for his money. Yes. It's just that the better man carried the day.
The better man carried the day, and that's what we say here on the stadium. We congratulate Roger Federer and, of course, Marin Cilic as well. Funny thing in tennis, like in boxing, even if you lose, you walk away with some very good cash. So both players are going away with some very, very good cash. But we'll take a very short break for call to prayer to our Islamic brethren, and then we'll come back. We'll dive straight back into the world of sports, telling you everything as it is that you need to know when it comes to sports, because this is a stadium here. We say it as it is. Do stay with us. Don't go. Defining broadcasting, and this is the stadium, the most authoritative sports program on the airwaves. We cover sports on earth and even space. We'll get back there to get you details of sports taking place there. You guys here ask Buchi what happened in Australia. He trekked there, he trekked back without giving us a result. He's here to come to talk, say federal way. Where he take no say federal way. I don't know how far. How? You trek go, trek come back, you know reach. You know reach
Kilele. I was there now, sure. Don't try me.
At all. This is Ted and Buchi is here. We're talking sports and we're talking about tennis first of all. Roger Federer becoming the all-time Grand Slam winner when it comes to the male category. It's massive. It's massive. The games he has played so far in the tournament, what he did last season. He was very clever enough to opt out of some ATP tournaments that were not very, very key and necessary and wouldn't cost him anything. Neither his firm or money. He opted out and rested, unlike some players that went on to play and got themselves stretched and then are not able to get back in shape to compete. The ATP calendar is very, very tight. Just the same way with the WTA for the whole year. It's very, very tight. And Federer, with all these massive, massive records that we have seen, is set to go on. Do you foresee him winning another Grand Slam this year?
Most definitely. I mean, we have 5 major Grand Slams this year. We have the French Open, we have U.S. Open, we have Wimbledon. I think him taking Australia right now.
Australia already. Let's say he pays attention to U.S. Open and Wimbledon. They have always been his priority. The French Open has always been unlucky for him.
French has only one. Exactly. I don't know. The French Open have only given him one, but the U.S. Open definitely. Australia, he's taking Australia, but I think Wimbledon and the U.S. Open are the two probably the key places we're going to be looking at.
Yes.
Who knows? This could just be his year. I don't know if it's possible to walk away with all 5 major Grand Slams, but this could be his year. I mean, the way he's playing and all the other players right now, the top 10, even the top 20 right now.
Yes.
We can the kind of injuries that have wreaked havoc on some of these some of the men tennis players right now. It's terrible. I mean, we have Nadal's out, Djokovic is out, Murray's in surgery. Keely played well. I mean, Krigos too.
Zverev is there. Jack Sock is there.
Zverev
is there. The young guys. I'm looking at the young guys who might give you a very, very difficult competition in the course of the year. Dominic Thiem.
Your friend.
Exactly.
So
Dimitri, I think don't rule him out. Even though he's there.
Exactly.
He's not very big player.
Fantastic player. Del Potro. Yes. I mean, these are what. The list is endless.
Yeah, if Del Potro gets himself fit, I was actually looking at this season, 2018 season, ATP season, as the season that he might just launch back and then probably we'll start seeing his decline. But like you said rightly the other day, it's like we're seeing a new birth in the world of tennis.
Yes.
The young group, the new guys coming up, and the old ones gradually fading out. We're seeing something is happening, right? So the players between the ages of 30 and 25 are getting weak and tired and almost getting into retirement. Roger, Serena are in their late 30s. Apart from the fact that she just had a child and needs to actually
don't forget Venus. Venus is still. I mean, Venus had
a year older than Federer. I think 37.
She's 37.
She's still playing. The fact that she didn't actually saw away in Australia doesn't mean she's
last season she had a very good last season. I mean, last season
was even there in the Dubai Classics.
She was in the Dubai Classics. She played. She got to many finals.
Yes.
She got to several finals. We have Serena still there. Yes. We have a few people in that. I think
that late 30s category.
I think I want to call it the Renaissance category.
Yeah.
There's sort of like the Renaissance people. They've been there for more than 20 years. They put in the work. And they're just and they're still dominating in their rights. They're still dominating in their field. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's some kind of bell curve arc where maybe as you start off as a youth, you're very exuberant, then you get to that 25-30 category, you're racked with injuries, then maybe you somehow plateau into your swan song era and just win some more trophies. I don't know if that's the bell curve within tennis, but right now, Federer.
It's Federer.
Age is nothing but a number. I think it's the mind, it's the spirit, it's the heart. If you
for him, it has been a dream come true. He said on court, amid tears rolling down his cheeks, he cries when he's happy, cries when he loses, and all that. He said, "I am so happy. It's unbelievable. It's a dream come true, and the fairy tale continues." I mean, that's like really truly be honest to himself. He says it's been a long time waiting for this final. It's easier in the afternoon, but when it's at night, you think about it all day. I'm happy it's over now. After the year I had last year, it's incredible. He had a very good year last year, I must say, and he's starting this year on this very strong note.
Yes.
It's massive. Let's see what comes up next, what happens to Federer and his team next. He has an amazing team. But then, other players, two players, let's look at two players, not including Rafa. Of course, Rafa will know his issues.
Of course.
Let's look at Novak. He assembled a very good team. Getting in legends into his coaching cabinet.
Definitely.
But the injuries are not letting him in. Andy Murray, is it the end of Andy Murray as well?
That's another thing. Are we going to see
Andy Murray come back in? These are the names we know, established names that sell this brand, this game, tennis.
But then, like you said, out with the old, in with the new. I think, of course, this is how it's always been in tennis for the last 50 years. You have people that reign, and when it's your time, when it's your swan song, you step aside. Younger people come in, and the cycle continues. Now, let's take it one by one. Let's say Djokovic, Novak Djokovic right now. I mean, this is a man who's been dominant in this sport for a very long time without so much as major injuries.
Yes.
We have to admit that. There was a period where Djokovic for like a few years was just gunning it through without many major injuries. Yes. I think now it's sort of like he's being injury racked, especially with that shoulder.
Yes.
He has the team around him.
Yes.
He has a phenomenal team around him with legends that can coach him, give him the best advice towards winning. But there's only so much a coach can do if you are injured.
Yes.
And it's injury right now that he's facing. I think I can feel his elbow.
Actually his service hand.
I can feel his frustration. I can feel his pain, and I can understand why he would want to just dive back in. You have an injury today, tomorrow the arm feels a little better, you feel like you're on top of the world, but the injury is still there. It's still not fully healed. I think he really just needs that time. I just say that even with the inclusion of Andre Agassi, the former Grand Slam champion, legend in his right. I mean, he was a legend. The likes of Federer and the rest of them popped up. Joining Novak Djokovic's coaching team would have given him a very, 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 very good backup. But like you said, no matter how good your coach is. Doesn't matter how good your coach is. If you have an injury, if you're not physically fit, there's nothing much you can do about it. So for now, I think the best thing for Djokovic is, it feels discouraging, but I still feel he has a lot of games ahead of him. I still feel there's still time in his career. If he can just give that shoulder and give that elbow that time to properly heal, because the human body, it takes about 90, you use about 90 muscles in your body just to take a serve, one service in tennis. The strain and the stress of that repeated action, and he had major surgery.
And that same ball returns in less than 5 seconds. And you have to hit it back harder.
You're looking at
harder than you serve.
Exactly. You're looking
if you don't get an ace in your first serve, you're going to get into a rally.
You imagine somebody as 71 shots at speeds of about 90 to 120 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Imagine that kind of force and that strain over a period of time. Of course, it's going to take its toll, but I feel he still has a lot of games ahead of him. He needs to just give himself that time to recuperate, to heal properly, and come in. Now, on the other hand, on the other side of the spectrum, we're looking at someone like Andy Murray.
Yes.
Now, Andy Murray is facing something that I don't even know, because the kind of surgery he's going for, there may not be a future for him.
Yes.
Coming back to tennis, he may not be able to bounce back.
But you do have a tennis lover here on the line. I'm not sure. Hello, good evening.
Spirits.
Hello, good evening.
This is Spirits.
Continue now. Let's go. Welcome to the studio. Good evening. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
How's been your Sunday?
Glory.
All right. So, did you watch the Australia Open Finals? Roger Federer taking the 20th Grand Slam title. Did you watch the game?
You know what? You guys are great.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, Spirits.
How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. How's your day going?
I like this one.
Spirit. Well done.
You guys make me to like sport by force.
Thank you.
No, it's not my first. It's not my
It's
first.
not my first, but thank you.
We just.
The only stadium that I go to watch football.
Okay.
If not for you guys, I wouldn't have known anything like sport.
Okay.
Oh, thank you so much, Spirit. Thank you.
Thank you for being a part of the program. That's one of our regular callers, Spirit.
Spirit.
Buchi, there's a problem with in the Andy Murray camp. You were talking about him before the call came in.
Yes.
Of course, you can join the conversation on the stadium. We're not just talking alone. We're here because of you. So you can join us and be a part of this conversation. If you call the phone number, we hard. Now, very simple number 081 8999 1011. If you dial now, talk anything we concern sports. Even the one we will never talk, if you talk, don't be say with the pushing the blow grammar here. Me, I don't go school. I only get diploma for talking. So I understand. Right? Andy Murray, he had this tape that he used to strap his knee.
Yes.
Is a tape that helps blood flow. The famous company that has it is called a kinesio tape. So when you strap it around your body, any part of your body, it lifts the skin away from the veins. So it allows the vein to flow.
Easy blood passage, yes.
Easy blood passage, yes. And the tape had riser. It was an advertising that, funny enough, this company has come out to challenge and even to sue. They have no contract with Andy Murray, but it was used, and I was thinking they should be happy that such a player used their product to publicize it.
Yeah.
He used it on his knee to lift his skin to allow blood flow on the veins, and the company has come out to challenge the usage of that tape without their consent. It's like somebody decided to paint his taxi with our brand, with our logo now, Human Rights Radio, or the stadium. Brand is taxi and drives around and say, I am the stadium, like all this kind of stuff. And we'll see the person. You help us market ourselves. So
It does.
I mean, but it's like people take it seriously when it comes to rights of the products, and these guys are actually challenging.
They're challenging him in that regard, especially when it comes to big sporting personalities. I mean, even it comes down to even a celebrity. It comes down to even the underwear you wear.
Yes.
If you wear a rival brand, or maybe you have a contract with a certain brand and you will use another brand, it doesn't matter what the product is.
Yes.
A company can sue you based on that. Yes. Now, we don't know what kind of deal maybe Andy Murray has made.
They claim they had no D. They have been suing for £850,000.
Maybe he does have, maybe he has a contract with another rival company in that regard.
Yes,
and maybe his doctor recommended this
yes.
and he used this. Now, to an outside person, to an outsider, it may sound ridiculous. It may sound, come on, it's like suing me for taking Panadol. I took Panadol, and then Panadol is suing me because they didn't give me permission instead of taking Agbo. Exactly. Who knows the kind of deal he made? Now, it's just unfortunate, especially now, because it's not even his knee that has the problem. His problem is his waist. He went in for waist surgery. He may not even after the surgery, there's a slim possibility that he may not be able to return to the game of tennis anymore. Yes. So right now, it's sort of like kicking a man down, or kicking a man when he's down. Right now, I don't think it's very fair of this company, but then they're in their own legal rights. So I think this, in the end, and also this also could be a marketing campaign for said company, because in the end,
exactly.
We are now, look at right now. We're sitting here. We've gone online and we've researched what the company is, what they produce, and what they, what their products are. That is,
we have come to know them through Andy Murray. I never knew anything about them.
I never knew it. Now I know it. So it could also be another marketing strategy or campaign from these people. Maybe that's what it is.
It's very, very possible. Anyway, this is a Stadium on Human Rights Radio, 101.1 FM redefining broadcasting. Games have been going on. Of course, we are going to delve straight into the world of football when we come back. But just to let you know that Chelsea defeated Newcastle 3-0 and Man City won against Cardiff 2-0. So it has been big games today. 5-goal thriller Sunday afternoon. More games in other places. Inter Milan, of course, having a draw there. The Milan teams are not doing very well in France as well. Games are going on, and in Spain as well, matches are going on. We're going to give you a lot of that on Barcelona plays later tonight. But we'll take a break. When we return, we'll go back right into the world of sports. I will open the phone lines for you to be a part of this conversation if you wish to, and we wish you join us to talk about it, because we're here just because you are there. Without you, we have no reason to sit here behind the mic and talk. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Angolans are rocking. Bucci predicted this. I don't know why he says these things. Whatever he says comes to pass. But of course, we're going details into that game along the line. Bucci, shortly before we go back into the world of football, you were thinking before we came back from the break that Anthony Joshua's best fight is not Deontay Wilder. No. It should be Parker. First of all, the beast, the angry, punching player.
I mean, he's the quiet New Zealander. Sometimes is what I call him. I mean, he doesn't mince words he doesn't mince words. He uses his fists to speak. I mean,
Joseph Parker is a beast when he gets into the ring.
Exactly.
I think that's a fight AJ needs. Not even Tyson Fury. Not
forget
Deontay.
Who is Deontay Wilder?
Not even Fury. Floyd. Not anybody coming back from retirement to fight. Parker is the deal.
Words. They're just words. You need to. I think something like Mike Tyson was deadliest when Mike Tyson didn't say anything
at all.
Mike Tyson became sort of like a toothless tiger when he started getting into the hype of I'm going to eat your heart, I'm going to eat your children and this. Back then, before Tyson got into a bout, Tyson would just tell you, look, at a press conference, he would just say, look, what date is it? Is it February 14th? Let's see what happens on February 14th.
Deal.
And he would knock you solid. He would knock you out. Now, the only person for me in boxing history,
that weight category for now.
No, as in boxing history generally, who would even back up his words is Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was a king of words. He would dazzle you. He would rope-a-dope you. Yep. You know, he was a genius. But right now, in the world of boxing, I think AJ's biggest test this year has to be Joe Parker. Don't get me wrong. AJ has a fantastic record, but then go and check Joseph Parker's record too. Both of them have similar records right now. Joe Parker is undefeated.
Yes.
Joe Parker is a hard hitter,
and I think he's willing to. Of course, you know the way it happens in boxing. AJ has 3 belts.
Yes, he does.
He got off Klitschko. If Parker defeats AJ, Parker will hold 4 belts.
He'll hold 4 belts, and
if
then
AJ defeats Parker, AJ will hold 4 belts because he'll be taking 1 belt from
Deontay.
Parker. Yeah. If he defeats Deontay again, he's getting the 5th belt, which he'll be the first man to hold all those 5
universal
belts.
Yeah, exactly.
Unification, and which is what Eddie Hearn wants to do, to have that in his camp and all. An agreement has not been reached on a specific date for this fight, even though we know it's going to take place
for Deontay or Parker.
Both Deontay and Parker. Of course, with Parker, they agree a deal. The sharing version was, the sharing formula was a problem that was holding.
Yeah, no, they've agreed on a date.
Specific date now.
31st of, I think it's 31st, end of March. I think it's 31st of March or something like that. I think they've agreed on it. Parker and his team have agreed on it. Even the sharing formula, they've agreed on it. Everything is now in the works. And I think it's going to happen in England. I think it's either in Cardiff. I think it's going to be in Cardiff, AJ's home ground.
Or Wembley or O2. I mean,
either O2, Wembley, or Cardiff, one of those 3. But I think it's going to be Cardiff, if I remember. I remember reading this story. But then, what we're talking about here, the main point is AJ.
What's the best fight for him?
Has to be Parker. Because Parker.
After beating, I mean, both guys are undefeated.
Both guys are undefeated. Yes. Both guys are exceptional boxers. But Parker
is a deal.
He's the real deal. There's no mistake about it. Don't get it twisted. Let's not get it twisted. Parker is the real deal, and AJ needs to be careful. He really needs to be careful. He can't be like our Nigerian team that walks in too overconfident, and then right now.
All right, this is the Stadium of Human Rights Radio, 101.1 FM redefining broadcasting. My name is Ted, and I'm here with Bucci. There's war in Morocco. Of course, no war with guns or war with battles or anything. It's war on the soccer pitch because it's 87 minutes, and the Super Eagles of Nigeria are trailing the Palancas Negras of Angola. They go down. We spoke about this coming. Of course, we are right into the world of football. Are you watching the game somewhere? Are you disappointed? Did you expect better than this? Are you expecting a change in the result before the final whistle? Or are you ready to go to the airport to welcome them home? Will they all come home, or some we actually abscond from there to other places? We don't know. Join the conversation. Call us on 081 89 99 1011. That's a studio hotline. If you call that line, you'll be right and live with us here on the stadium. No matter how far you are, you will be with us. Of course, join our online page or pages, facebook.com/Human Rights Radio or YouTube, Human Rights Radio. It is. You can find us there, or we can chat, we can have a conversation about the sports that are taking place. Buchi, in Morocco, like we said, is looking like, once again, officially it's 89 minutes. It's a minute full-time, normal full-time, a minute, in less than a minute. Of course, we have delayed time. It should be like, like once again, the Super Eagles are doing you proud.
Unfortunately so. Don't get me wrong, I'm a proud Nigerian.
Yes.
I bleed red, I bleed green and white. My blood is green and white. But I think there's a difference between pride and showing that pride and then facing facts, the reality on ground. I mean, don't get me wrong, Nigeria did play we had group stages, we did pretty well. Although we started with a rocky start,
we drew one,
and I believed in this Waffle team. We drew, and I won't lie, I've been one of the main people that's been a big proponent or supporter of this Waffle team. But I think the same thing, the same Nigerian plague has played into this game, in the sense that we've looked at Angola and looked at how they played during the group stages and said, we can walk over.
Yeah, we had a better record than them.
We had a much better record.
They only scored one goal. We scored
only one goal. We scored four. Exactly.
Yes.
And we'll be going, we had a better record. Angola, who is Angola? We're going to walk over them. And now it looks like, and the thing is, we tend to forget that we are the giants of Africa, and also other teams.
We used to be the giants of Africa.
No, don't get me wrong. Let me just use the monicum. We are the giants of Africa in quotes, right? But let's not forget that other teams are also seeing us as the giants of Africa.
And
therefore,
if you're a giant, they come at you with force.
They come ready to slay giants. They come as giant slayers. So we tend to, it's a giant, I'll step on them. And then these people come with surprise packages like what we're seeing right now on the field of play.
Well, that's what we're seeing in Angola. It's not, in Morocco, it's not fun. I don't think any soccer-loving Nigerian love the result that is on there right now in Morocco. We're looking at the situation where this is not a group stage where you can draw and stay. Here you lose, you come home. There's nothing like second best or nothing like the runner-up in the group stage. Either you win or you lose.
You win or you lose.
Exactly. You're back home or you stay there to watch the rest of them. But other games, of course, will be coming up later on tonight. Congo will play Libya. That's another very massive game. Libya, the surprising package of the tournament. Yeah, nobody expected them to go this far.
To get this far.
Domestically, Libya is not stable as it is, but they have a team. They have assembled a team that can come this far and are playing a very resilient Congo later on this evening. One match to look out for is that will be tomorrow. Morocco, the host nation. We'll see what they can do. Of course, Nigeria just equalized. Say it's a draw now. 1-1. Super Eagles just got a goal in. So that's the extra time. We're looking at a way where, if it is possible, very, very possible, we can go into
maybe extra time, maybe penalties, and walk away. But then that'll be walking. I hope we can win this match and maybe learn our lesson to not underestimate any country or any team. I just pray. That's my prayer.
The team that has been taken there is not actually, of course, even from the official quarters.
Of course,
there have been some comments coming up from the official quarters that this is not the best home-based team that would have actually represented Nigeria at this continental level. So what happened? The league is going on. Some of these players belong to teams they are missing. I even look at the positioning of the scheduling of the tournament itself. If you are going to pick the best from the local league and take them for this CHAN, then the league itself is going to suffer because you have picked the best strikers, the best defenders, the best goalkeepers from the club. So some clubs are suffering now as a result of the absence of key players that play in this competition. I don't know when is the appropriate time to schedule this kind of competition so that it doesn't affect the local league as it doesn't. Yes, at least Wafu was towards the end of the season, so most teams already knew that.
In fact, it was a day after our season. After the season ended, and on that day they took over to start, and they performed phenomenally well.
Yes,
I think. This is CHAN. You can't. I mean, CHAN is a bigger competition. Wafu just started. I think some of these teams are not just fielding their home-based players. I think Nigeria, we're fielding our home base to try and build up that towards generate home-based players towards Russia 2018.
Yes.
It's unfortunate that it's affecting the league right now because our league is suffering because some of our best legs and freshest minds are playing right now in Morocco,
Yes.
slugging it out. It's unfortunate, but I think it's a sacrifice that needs to come through because I've always been a big proponent and a big supporter of home-based players to grow our home-based players, to give our league that growth.
Yes.
And it's competitions like this that inspire and bring out at least we separate the wheat from the chaff and get the best, especially from the home-based team.
And the very best, like you were saying, that yesterday we challenged key players in that team to make sure that they show up, and that came today. Anthony Okpotu, the leading goal scorer last season, was the one that actually, for Lobby Stars, actually ended up as the scorer, equalizing for Nigeria, trying to put his name up in the record. If Ikechukwu Ezenwa would have just upped his game to make us, I didn't say anything. But it's massive there for us. We'll see what happens at the end of this. That we're actually probably going into extra time. And we'll see what happens. Hoping that Nigeria skates through this with that final surge that get them that equalizer. We should be able to get past the Angolans if we put our hands together. I don't know what the coach, Salisu Yusuf, will be telling the lads during this short break before the resumption. What if you are the coach? What would you tell them? And if you have penalties in your mind, would you select? Your goalkeeper also to play the penalty. Don't forget Couture played penalty for Chelsea. They're still looking for that ball.
That's very true. That's very true. I mean, right now, I think a goal like this is something that it always acts as a revitalizer. It kind of gives the players, we still stand a chance. There's still hope, and everybody now starts. Exactly, it gives you that mental strength. If I were Salisu right now, I would be pushing away from penalties. Penalties are too unpredictable. Penalties are too, and it's not a true. For me, I've always been. It's not a true judge or a true judge or basis for the strength of a team, because in the end of the day, you can have even the best strikers miss out. I mean, we can have the most reliable legs miss out penalties. Let's not forget Chelsea. Chelsea Champions League. Let's not forget
John Terry is amazing.
John Terry. Let's not forget Ghana. I think it was Ghana versus Argentina. World Cup. Let's not forget 1994.
Penalties are always funny. As a coach, I will always find a way to
find if there's any way you can
you could actually have a team play very, very horrible during full time,
and then just walk away with penalties.
Be amazing.
Exactly. I don't think we should let this thing get to penalties. Let us find a way to just rush in another goal and then lock up the defense. I pray we can scale through.
We need to win. But he wants us to win, and of course from here we are facing stronger opponents, because as the competition progresses, the more it gets in, the more opponents you are going to face. The better teams are the ones that are always surviving. So you're not going to meet Meno. So you're not going to be runners-up. Sometimes are even stronger than winners in the groups. So you meet them. Angola were runners-up in their group, yet they're strong as this. Don't forget that even in the Champions League, Real Madrid came up as runners-up in their group.
True.
And yet they are not a team to walk over. Chelsea came up as runners-up.
Yes.
Under Roma, they are not a team to walk over. So many teams like that. So runners-up are never a pushover. Sometimes it's just misfortune of missing a game, losing a game, and losing 3 points, and then you end up being runners-up and all that. But of course, this is Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM redefining broadcasting. We're talking sports here. We'll take a very short break, and when we return, we'll go to games that took place today. Chelsea won. The one man was outstanding.
One surprise man.
Trying to let the coach know that I have something to offer.
I still have it in the tank.
I beg, no give me on loan to Eyimba. Are they here? Now me and you, bros. Before now, what you go do? Keep me here, I beg. So stay with us. We'll be right back after this short break.
100
The Palancas Negras of Angola. Of course, they are familiar foes. We know them. They've always been a pain in our neck, both in basketball and in football, and they are proving to be that. But of course, we wish the Chan Eagles the best. We hope they come out victorious in this competition because Buchi wants to touch that trophy with his bare hands, and we'll bring it right here in the stadium.
Give it a good kiss, you know, like Federer kissing that 20th.
In tears. Probably we'll kiss it in tears. We'll hold it right here for you who are watching us online on the camera to see the trophy that the Eagles brought home. We wish them all the best because they're doing their best. It's not easy. It's a game of 11 men, 11, and one coach, technical assistants, and everybody's everything is same in numbers, same crazy mad supporters that they have too. They love football like we do. So let the best team win. It's heading like it's looking like it's heading to penalties. The same thing you were trying to avoid as a coach.
Exactly.
We might just end up there. But we'll head right straight into England. And before we do that, we want you to be a part of this conversation. Are you disappointed with the Super Eagles? Are you happy about the victory that Chelsea recorded today? Mr. Batshuayi trying to let the coach know that I don't want to go anywhere. Please, I want to stay here and play for the team in Stamford Bridge or anywhere you go. I don't want you to give me out on loan to Enyimba or Lobby Stars. I want to stay here in West London and play. And Manchester City showing Cardiff that even right there in Wales, in the very before of our fans or how say the most we will carry a big pass on our also we can deliver. We are out for business and all that. It's not the same thing in some places. The Milan teams are not doing very, very well. I don't know. All of a sudden, those are big. Inter Milan, AC Milan, big teams. All of a sudden, their fortunes or whatever dwindling, just going down slowly. And I just hope they don't go like Leeds United that were ripped by Manchester United. They packed all their players. The Ferdinands. How many players do I call that? The Man U ripped off from Leeds when Leeds went into relegation, and they have not recovered from that. See now they're there. That right there, that's a team after my heart. I just wish they're able to come back to the league. Buchi, Diego Costa, what's happening to him? This is a month that we expected him to launch back into action, having waited for so long after the agreed departure from Chelsea.
Yes,
he was training on his own back in his home country. He got overweight, and he's still. If you see him, you know that he's still suffering from that. We see chubby and all that, and he came back, launched himself back. This is January that he was supposed to resume when he was cleared by UEFA to start playing again for Atletico de Madrid. He played the first few games, grabbed some goals, and then he's injured again. He's out. Is this guy going to get back in his true form?
He will. I think he will. The truth is, he's been out of the game for a long time, and of course,
he's in training with Atletico
he says he's been training, but then he doesn't have the same match commitments. He hasn't had the same match commitments that they had throughout. I mean, these are people that are training, and then they have 2 matches or 2 games they have to play within the week. He'll just show up whenever he feels like showing up, trains, and then goes back home. He sleeps, buys that nice pizza and burger, eats, travels where he wants to travel, show up again, train. Okay, let me just. I mean, I'm happy that he's back in the team. He's now playing. I mean, his debut, he scored 2 phenomenal goals. Yes. But I think he just needs a little more time to get back into the swing of things. He's been injured. It's unfortunate, but I think probably by the time he comes back from this injury spell, he'll have that, it's sort of like, he's now back in rotation. I think that's even why he's picked up such an injury at this point in time.
Probably trying too hard, trying to over-impress. Maybe.
He's been out of rotation for a long time. His body is just not what it was. I mean, if he was playing matches consistently, of course, there's a level of fitness that he'll have. But he's been I think for almost good months.
Yes,
we're looking at
about 5 to 6 months.
5 to 6 months. This man did not touch a football. Yeah. I mean, this season, just to wait till January.
Jogging and walking on the beach and having some good time with some very good friends.
Exactly. I think his body's just adjusting. I think this injury is probably going to be a wake-up call, maybe now with regular matches, and he'll get back into the rotation and be back to winning ways and scoring goals.
And then of all people, Fernando Torres and your friend Antonio Griezmann came to the rescue of Atletico de Madrid today to beat Las Palmas 3-0 at home. Torres again trying to get back. He's an old war horse.
He's an old war horse.
He still has something to offer. Nobody seems to be on the transfer market for him.
No. I think he plans.
Would you rather have Chelsea bring back Torres or buy Andy Carroll?
No.
Be honest.
No, I think Torres just wants to retire. I mean, this is his hometown club.
Exactly.
This is where his heart belongs. This is where he started.
been
his
having
career.
a bad time at Wanda Metropolitana, the new
Yes.
stadium, and
Everybody's been having a bad time there. I think the whole team. That's why he wants a big pay rise. I mean, it takes a lot of money to take care of a big family. I mean, maybe that's why he wants a pay rise. So there's a lot of distractions. Like you said, there's marketers, there's team ideology. Don't forget, Perez himself is also a distraction because, like you say a lot here, when Volunteer Perez wants something, it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Everything will be turned. So
even
right
without
now,
consulting his
without
team,
consulting
the
anybody,
sporting director or the coach, he does the deal straight on his own with the player, and the next thing you see the player being unveiled, to the surprise of everybody.
I think also we talk of Hazard and we talk of Neymar. That's probably, I mean, this is a team that's been built around Cristiano Ronaldo for so long, and right now Cristiano Ronaldo is not performing as we know he can, as he usually does. So I think that outside distraction, contracts, it's right now. I think Madrid is in just a mess. It's just a mess right now.
Madrid is a mess, but Chelsea is not a mess. Today, one man proved to be that player that Chelsea needs. Chelsea is looking out for every striker. In fact, maybe they might come for our very own Antonio Poto if care is not taken, because they're looking for anybody up front who can save them. But today, Mr. Baswell said, well, I am here. No need to sell me. And of course, Nigeria has doubled their lead again. Buchi is 2-1 up.
Finally.
So we're hoping that that's actually
let's run it. Let's run it to the end.
That we can afford to keep that till the game is over, and we'll win this and we'll get to the next stage. And congratulations to the Super Eagles there in Morocco, doing their best for the country so far. We're proud of you. We challenge you when we can, and we try to encourage you when you do things below our expectation. But we'll take a very short break for the last call to prayer for this evening, and when we return, we'll give you details of what is happening right there in Morocco, because as it is, it's almost time for us to start singing Stand Up for the Champions.
They're not the champions yet. Stand up for the next round.
For the next round.
Stand up for the next round.
Do stay with us. We'll be right back. Broadcasting, and this is The Stadium, the most authoritative sports program on radio, online, and on TV. Yes, we can brag about that because we're the first human rights radio in the whole wide world. Search us. Just go to any search machine and look for human rights radio. This is the very first. We don't compete with anybody. We set the records against ourselves and we try to break it. Am I lying?
No, not a lie. Not a lie.
All right, so Super Eagles 2-1 up against the Palancas Negras of Angola. Gabriel Okechukwu coming to our rescue, that second goal there, and we hope the game ends this way so that we can actually continue this club that we started to congratulate the Super Eagles. In advance, we are doing that so that they know that back home here, we back them, we're backing them, giving them all our support. But when they don't do well, we'll say it here. We don't do no partiality here. We they talk about as raw as he All right, Buchi, before we get out of the studio, Chelsea and Man City today still proving strong for all their opponents. We thought the game against Newcastle was going to be a very, very tough one, but it came so easy. Michi
Batshuayi proving, I think, trying to show the value of his money. I mean, this is a man that wants to go to the World Cup, and all players right now are trying to do everything they can to feature in the World Cup. So looking for playing time, looking to show that relevance one way or another. I mean, and I won't lie, unexpected. I didn't expect Batshuayi to score the way he did, but he did, and in grand style and fashion, two goals. Walked away with 2 goals. Newcastle, on the other hand, I don't know. Rafa Benitez has to be one of my favorite coaches. It's just unfortunate right now that he's going through.
He has been around for a while. He knows the local politics.
He knows the game. He was one of the main people that even brought Liverpool back into the spotlight. I mean, back in the day.
Exactly.
But now it just, I don't know. It's they just. They have quality.
It's not working for him.
It's just not working right now. Like we always say, sometimes you slump, sometimes you have good days and your bad days. Right now, unfortunately, Newcastle just seems to be going from bad to worse.
Kevin De Bruyne still scoring for Manchester City with a new contract. He has a resurgence that we don't understand. This guy, who will stop him? We used to say who will stop Man City. Now who will stop Kevin De Bruyne? A midfielder outscoring the strikers themselves. Plays deep, ends up sharp up front, finishing deadly. And Raheem Sterling as well, just adding up to.
Exactly.
Everybody is preparing for the World Cup.
Everybody's preparing for the World Cup, and all that. Everybody
except some Nigerian players. I won't call them. I don't call them.
Everybody's preparing for the World Cup, and everybody wants to showcase their best. Right now, De Bruyne is just unstoppable. He's phenomenal. He knows how to place those balls. He can go. He tracks back. He goes forward. He connects with. He connects with the strikers, the defense, and also scores phenomenal goals in his own right. Right now, the man is like a one-man riot squad. And I mean, without him, I don't know whether Man City. I mean, don't get me wrong, Man City have a crop of fantastic players.
They do.
Behind that line,
well, if you don't have that finisher up front,
if you don't have that finisher,
all the effort of the defense and the midfield is nothing. Which is what Arsenal has suffered for a long time.
For a very long time. Strong. I
would say Arsenal do have a respectable defense, respectable defense line. They do. A very decent goalkeeper who oversees the field.
Respectable defense line.
Is there, or
decent goalkeeper.
Amazing.
Formidable midfield, but
so if you don't have that front that complements the effort that you do at the back, it's nothing to write home about, and you just stand there to be whitewashed by any other team that understands your tactics and then puts pressure on your defense, and the whole of your attack will come back defending. People would say you're packing a tray.
I mean, back in the day, it used to be, we had those quality finishers, the Van Nistelrooys, the people up front that could actually take the ball. Right now, it seems like this is the season or the era of the super midfielder, that midfielder that connects the ball and also can score goals. You have that in Eriksen, you have that in De Bruyne, you have that in Hazard, you have all these key midfield players that actually kind of just overshadow the forward, and just you're looking at goals from your midfield essentially.
Angola is asking a lot of questions, but of course we are not giving them the answers. Nope. We're just there looking at them. Can Nigeria afford to pack a bus at this point in time? Do we have the machinery to pack the bus?
I think whether we have it or not, it's the only way forward right now.
We need to do it.
Everybody just track back and just hold the line. I think that's the best way. That's the best way forward right now.
It has been the Stadium of Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM Redefining Broadcasting. I want to say thank you to our production team of Chike and Blessed there on the server and NSMOcast there, making this program get out to you there who is not able to listen to us on terrestrial radio. If you followed us online on YouTube and on Facebook and our other social media applications, we want to thank you. You can download our app, Human Rights Radio. Go to the Play Store, you'll find it there. That's the only one there. Listen to us live or anywhere you are. You don't have to be in Abuja or in Mina or in Nasarawa or in Kotangora or wherever. Anywhere you are, as long as you have a device that can connect to the internet, you listen to us live. You'll not miss any edition or any episode of any program that we do have on this station. The stadium returns again tomorrow, same time in the evening by 6:15 after the news. Of course, we'll do a wrap-up of what happened today and we'll celebrate together with the Super Eagles who are making us proud out there in Morocco. My name is Ted and Buchi has been here with me. Happy birthday to my friend and my classmate, Peter Justin Nanga. God bless you as you add another year to your career in the ministry as a priest. Till again, we'll meet tomorrow. Thank you for staying with us. Be good to your neighbor. Be your brother's keeper. If you don't have a brother, be your sister's keeper or be your neighbor's keeper. That's what we advocate here on the stadium. Good night and sleep well.
100